Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Shed of War. Yes, welcome. It's Saturday night, and a bit of a post-game analysis of playing Chain of Command in the Pacific. Now, as any of you who are big Chain of Command followers will know, that the new Far East supplement is imminent. Now, it won't be covering the Pacific actions quite yet, but this is an area I've been particularly interested in for a very, very long time, and slowly building up stuff. I had it all in 20mm many years ago and sold it all to a gentleman in the States who I believe is having great use of it. And I gradually built up 15mm instead. And to be perfectly honest with you, I wanted the game. I know the supplement won't cover it, but there's lots of lists already out on the Chain of Command Facebook page. Nearly all the rules that would I can play games with, I know about already, because I've been very lucky enough to see some of the drafts and test some of the rules out last year at the Hearts of Lard Day with my Dutch East Indies mob taking on the Japanese. But this is a different type of game. This is where the Japanese are actually defending a lot now. This is the islands, whether they be the very small ones like Pelalu or Tarawa, or in this case I'm finding a sort of scenario really from New Georgia, where the US Marines are pushing up through jungle, through along the coast to try and take a Japanese position. Now, some of you have seen this on Facebook and Twitter already, but this is basically the whole table. You can see I try to pack in as much different types of terrain as possible just for a bit of a laugh. But we have the coast. We have the palms that line the coast with scrub. You can see all the gaps in between the scrub are deliberate. That's actually where the pathways are, or trails would be a better way of putting it. And then as we move across, you have the kunai grass, and then you have your thicker jungle with some streams, the airfield, which is the jump-off point, or the starting point for the Marines in this game. And then you go through, you've now got swamp and jungle, and then you'll go all up to the higher ground. Some nice Callistra hills there, and bits and bobs. You can see some of the bunkers. Yes, some of my bunkers actually managed to get on table. We left the, by the way, the reason why those markers are on is to show the angle of fire. We found it was really easy. And my new acquisitions are spider holes. I'm not sure if you can see them. These are lovely 3D prints, which were done by my friend Sean. I painted them up yesterday before the game with Per. And as you get into the Pacific games, when it all comes out, you'll know that you're going to need spider holes for the Japanese. You can obviously make them yourself pretty easy, but these 3D prints are lovely. They're single riflemen in a pit, when in fact there should be 3, but hey, they work really well and they look really lovely. So I recommend when you and if you get into the Pacific, they are a very good purchase. Right, so how did the game go? The game I thought was terrific. I played a solo game by myself, testing stuff out. First thing to say, so different from anything you've done in Normandy or even Soviet Union or other games like that. The terrain causes a completely different game. What a surprise, hey? Think about it. It's not open fields, it's not hedgerows. This is thick grass, thick undergrowth, some of it impenetrable. You've got defenders who are dug into bunker systems, spider holes, which are basically impossible to find until they literally open up on you. And I've got to say, Rich has got a load of lovely rules about how these deploy, how a LMG bunker relates to the spider holes, which is the rifleman. So yeah, great. Now, as the American player was finding out yesterday, taking these bunkers is an absolute pig. It is extremely difficult, and I think there's a couple of things that need to be worked out with the current rules and even with the amendments. Taking out a bunker is extremely difficult, but I hope to have a chat with Rich about it and see what he thinks. I'm sure he's already had some feedback on stuff and probably has some ideas already. But generally, anyone who likes Chain of Command, I think you're going to love this because it's so different. The challenges that you are going to be facing are completely different. Just getting your troops into a position where they can actually take out a bunker and break a line without getting huge losses, and then have to move on to the next line, because the Japanese won't just have a single bunker, they'll have a whole staggered defense. So yeah, brilliant so far. The tanks were interesting. They could put down HE, they had the MGs as well. They were very good at actually taking out individual LMG bunkers. The heavy bunker, which is the one you got here, had the heavy MG in it. That really cost the Americans dearly to take in the end. And they are true beasts and should be avoided at all costs. One other thing before I go, because it's already 5 minutes. The other thing that's really big about this is the way that the mortars don't affect these bunkers so much. In fact, in most cases, don't affect these bunkers at all. So where you've been able to put down a barrage and take out and suppress, that's a lot more difficult now. And the tactics you're going to have to use: fire and shoot, pin, put shock on. You're going to have to really work it out. And attacking a bunker from the rear, because there's always a door. When you're playing World War II in Normandy, these things don't have doors. These guys are in, they lock themselves in effectively. So yeah, another thing to think about when you're playing these games. But generally, if you're interested in the Pacific, if you're interested in not just beach assaults, but actually what comes up afterwards, the drive inland, the defensive perimeters, the Japanese counterattacks, you're going to love this, and I recommend you start building your forces up soon. 15 mil, 20 mil, 28 mil. Personally, I go for 15 mil because you can get a lot more terrain on the table. A lot more interesting stuff can happen. But yeah, obviously, whatever you fancy. Take care, everybody. All the best. Bye-bye.